6 months ago this week, a suicide pilot crashed his aircraft into the Echelon Building in northwest Austin. 13 people were hurt, 2 died, including the pilot. The badly damaged building is still under repair, and as KXAN's David Scott reports, so are the hearts of the people affected by that day.
The precious joys of life, exchanging wedding vows, the birth of a newborn, have something in common with unforeseeable tragedies, such as planes slamming into buildings. Because the moment may be brief, but our memories and the impact on our lives lasts a lifetime.
A gigantic fireball came out, probably 50 feet wide. Then windows blew out. Then insulation flew out. Then those Venetian blinds were flapping everywhere. Then fire started.
Mid-morning on a quiet midweek day, all hell broke loose. Disgruntled software engineer Joe Stack, a grudge against the IRS burning a hole in his gut, slammed his single-engine plane into Echelon Building number 1, a headquarters for the IRS. The damage devastating.
I jumped underneath the desk, and then another explosion went off. So that's when we went out the back side door.
You know, there's fatalities in that building right now. You know, thinking about that, just makes it even worse.
The fireball grew, the building in a shambles. Workers inside scrambling to safety as rescue units rushed to the scene.
I can't believe that 40 gallons of aviation fuel would create that kind of fireball over that large area.
13 people were injured, 2 with serious burns. 2 were dead. The pilot and longtime IRS manager Vernon Hunter. His wife got out unscathed. Their son Ken heard the initial news on the radio and waited out a long, fretful vigil throughout the day.
It's unreal to have something like that happen because I wasn't prepared for it. Probably about 2:30 that afternoon, she called me, my stepmom called me and told me that my dad was missing. And then I kind of figured that he would have been the last one out of the building because that's basically what he would have done.
By nightfall, they knew the worst. Vernon was gone. 68-year-old Vernon Hunter served 20 years in the Army, 2 tours in Nam, and 3 decades with the IRS. He was friends with everyone.
Just about everybody liked my dad because he was just that friendly. If you needed something, he would do his best to take care of you.
He was laid to rest a week later before a throng of family and friends who heard a pastor's message that rings true today.
Make sure that every time you pass that building on 183, that you, in a fresh way, decide again to love people and not things.
The Echelon Building has been gutted and repaired. Reconstruction should bring new tenants within 6 to 7 months, but not the IRS. They're moving to a new location.
I don't want to go past that building.
Everyone's still trying to move on from that day, including the Hunters.
It's still kind of hard to get used to it, simply because it happens so suddenly, and you never expect something like that to happen. And everyone has their good days and their bad days, but we're trying to make it.
This was Ken's first visit back to the building where his father worked and died.
I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult than it was, but once I walked around a little ways, and it's not so bad anymore.
Buildings can be mended in a year. Hearts take a bit longer. David Scott, KXAN, Austin News.